Beyond the material universe, there's a vastness of chaos. All magic is controlled releases and manipulation of chaotic flows. Geometric patterns called astral seals are used to create pathways to chaos. These pathways are then activated by incanting words of power with perfect tone and pitch, releasing chaos into the world to change it based on the magic that was used. Humans have long ago learned about magic, but it was incredibly difficult to use because the seals must be perfect, otherwise the magic would not work at best, and at worst it'd be unpredictable and destructive. The geometric integrity of the seals must be preserved. There's no folds, no holes, no scratches, no anomalies. They must be perfect. Doing this before the invention of printing was truly cumbersome. Indeed, as a small imperfection nearly invisible to the human eye would potentially create disaster. Thus, in the yesteryears, quite often there was two specialist groups, the engravers and the enchanters. The engravers would specialize in rendering the seals with great precision, and they'd use a multitude of now archaic tools to ensure the quality of the seals. They develop a reputation for fine workmanship. Some would even specialize in engraving different materials, like metals, parchment, or stone slabs. The enchanters would train specifically to recite words of power and spend years doing so, as they'd have to train not just their ability to incant, but their ability to listen to others and have ears tuned for the slightest imperfections. Each incanter learns to speak the words of power with such consistency that their incanting would sound very similar to another's, nearly identical. Yet the differences between each individual's voice do play a role in the strength of their magic and predisposition to certain schools. Now, with the advent of technology, seal engravings are mass-produced by large printing machines, with engineers who specialize not in engraving, but in the maintenance of the machines who do it. The art of engraving has dwindled into the world of academia, where scholars continue to search for erudite patterns in the geometry of magic, trying to find new seals for existing schools of magic, or even entirely new ones. Naturally, the economic price of seals has become more accessible due to their mass production. They're printed on a special type of smooth paper, then sold as products, called canting cards, which fit comfortably in a person's palm. Enchanters need no longer be wealthy individuals with gold to afford handcrafted seals, but only those with the gold to afford the training, which has become so widespread that laws are introduced to regulate it. Individuals are now required to receive licenses or permits to purchase seals for certain types of magics, and must present these when they purchase them. Medical practitioners may learn magic to heal wounds and detect diseases, but they will find great adversity trying to acquire seals to conjure flaming spheres or telepathic compulsion. Given that magic seals need to preserve their geometric integrity, they will not work if they lose proportions, parts of the seals are rubbed off, or there's folds in the material the seal is rendered on. For this purpose, several decades before the current time, printing of cards was developed using great machines, which made magic much more accessible and revolutionized society. The seals were printed on what's known as canting cards, special paper that, even when viewed under a microscope, has minimal irregularities, giving the magic seals cast with it a very low probability of misfiring or failing. Some cards are laminated with a chemical coating that makes them silky and plastic-like. They become even smoother and sturdier against folding in dynamic environments. These laminated cards are expensive to produce and usually used by the military, where fizzled magic is a matter of life or death. Most battle cantors wear specialized uniforms with pockets they sew into it, carrying dozens or even hundreds of cards, all organized based on academic teachings for best practices of canting card organization. Seals to disintegrate your enemies or boil their internal organs are usually stored on the chest, where it can be accessed quickly and accessible, even if one of the caster's arms are lost in battle. Other seals for civilian purposes, such as construction or medical application, a simple filing cabinet provides a satisfactory level of delicateness. A dry, dark place can store cards for years, with most cards having an official expiry date on them, telling the customer when the ink will wear out. If one card fails, another can be pulled out and used. Despite the relative ease of producing them compared to the times have gone, cards are still quite expensive to produce because although factories print many, very few are of the quality high enough to be sellable on the market. When they're produced, there's a process that is followed to check their quality, and this involves dropping small droplets of water on the surface and rotating the cards by very small angles. If the cards are perfectly flat, then the water droplets' surface tension will have nothing to grip and it will just roll off the card like a bead. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed this narration. If you'd like to learn more about the world of the Minion Master, subscribe and leave a like, and I hope you join me for the next video. Thank you.